Hello, this is my video on creating symbols for writing systems. The information I use will be cited in the description, so have fun. A good rule to go by when creating symbols is to have consistent structure. For instance, only have 5 to 8 different types of angles and shapes in the maximum. Latin alphabets usually only have one all-purpose circle shape, one vertical line, one horizontal line, 2 opposing diagonal lines to the right and left, and one basic curve or hook. Even the Chinese writing system only has 6 to 8 types of stroke, direction, and form. So in essence, use a basic shape or shapes that you're familiar with, add a couple lines, and you have your writing system. Something resembling musical notes and symbols usually looks great. A syllabary writing system consists of symbols that represent phonetic syllables, usually only consists of a single consonant or affricate in its onset, and a single vowel or diphthong in the syllable nucleus. The Japanese hiragana is a well-known example. Here you can see I've simplified the hiragana on the left of each column into the shape that represents musical notes. I know they're not actual musical notes, some of them are, but most of them not really. Don't worry, I know this, please don't rant in the comments about it, I'm just making an example. Abhigitas, I think, are the most interesting, as it shows each syllable in its own respective space. Like a syllabary, but with notable exceptions. There are individual symbols for both consonants and vowels, and each of those symbols can be arranged in that syllable block to alter the syllable pronunciation. Diacritics may also be added. Good examples of abhigitas are Devanagari, the Hindi writing system, and Hangul, the Korean writing system. Artifexian has made a great abhigita based off of Hangul, and I think he did a grand job. Kind of reminds me of the standard galactic alphabet from the Commander Keen games, but let's be honest, most people watching this video will only know the SGA as the Minecraft enchantment runes. In any case, he made a great video showing his process. If you haven't seen it, click the button here, link in the description. Something you should all be familiar with now, alphabets. An alphabet has a full individual symbol for each phoneme in a word, sometimes with 2 or more symbols, known as letters, alongside one another to form a sound that does not have a symbol on its own. Think of S and H to make the unvoiced postalveolar fricative sound, or the sh sound. But sometimes each letter represents more than one sound. I'm looking at you guys, in particular, because I couldn't think of the others. I updated my conlangs writing system to, instead of being an abhigita-abjad hybrid, it's now an alphabet. I've also changed the symbols so that they are far more consistent with each other, but each are individual enough to tell each other apart. The symbols also represent musical notes more, so anyone can use and alter this as you like for your own conlangs. I don't really mind, I only ask that you mention me as the muse for your inspiration. I heart I-L-O-V-E abjads. I think that the Arabic writing system is one of the most beautiful in the world. Well, that's my opinion. An abjad is also known as a consonant alphabet, and it's spelled using consonant symbols, with small symbols around the consonant to show vowels and voicing. Hebrew is another good example of this. You can see here that someone has already drawn a parallel with the Hebrew script and the Jewish religious symbol, the Star of David, a basic shape from where the letters share similarities in the modern script. Interestingly, the Greek alphabet is derived from the ancient Phoenician abjad. That's pretty cool, I guess. The semantophonetic systems usually display sound and meaning, and they usually contain many symbols. But I found a conlang called Pamichki, which uses a semantophonetic alphabet. You should definitely take a look. Click the button or the link in the description, because it is really cool. Pictograms resemble things they represent. Think of Egyptian hieroglyphs, whereas logograms contain symbols that represent parts of words or whole words. Now let's try and create some symbols together. I'm going to choose an abjad for this one, but the techniques and tips used will be applicable for other writing systems, but I'm going to make an abjad. First, create the most basic shape you will use. I chose a square diamond. Use this shape to create your constraints. As you can see, I've created the maximum boundaries for each symbol. I chose 6 by 5 because I wanted there to be a close enough ratio between the height and the width, while having only the width be a prime number, just because I think it will make unique and interesting shapes. Now I need to think of my lines. I want to think of the thickness to be half of that of diamonds, so that I'm able to use half diamond intervals for the symbol construction. There we go. That looks nice, but it's a bit too long. Ah, there. Let's taper the tail as well to stylize it for calligraphy. Beautiful. Now let's start creating the symbols proper. I want to make the symbol for P. Let's start with this little guy. I want to carry on his line near to the end here. Now I want this to be the base for most of my consonants. Let's add some things to identify this symbol from the others we make. Boom. Done. Here we can add a tail to show voicing, and hey presto, we've just made a bus sound. Now we can add 2 dots underneath to show nasality, and now we've made a mus sound. Hooray! We've just created the first few symbols together. And there you have it. Now you know the basics of different writing systems and how they work. I hope you have as much fun making these scripts for your writing system as I did for mine. Hope you have a nice day. Oh. I don't know what to say now. This video did take a long time. Wow, it took ages to make. Yeah. Alright then. Goodbye.